we're going to do a cold opening where we just make fun of Neil for falling off a bike and busting his face up. I think that's good to go. I mean, we wish him well, but...
Tell you how he fell? Well, tell me the story online. Oh, here we are. All right, let's do it. So how did he fall off his bike?
He hit a curb. He told me about...
The curb hit Neil, right? The curb hit Neil.
Yeah, he called me all pilled up. I guess he was on Percocets because face is all banged up. And, yeah, he was out of it. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, oh, my bike. I'm like, you get hit by a car? Because he always rides his bike to and from work every couple of days.
He's one of those hippies, huh?
Yeah, he has aspirations of not being a fat guy. And you can't be, you're already a big dude. You can't be riding bikes. That's just a bad idea. You know, you just gotta walk and shit, but.
Yeah. Gotta move somehow.
I posted the picture of the Wayne's World. The girl hits the car, takes the header. Oh, I love that. Probably my second favorite all-time movie, behind Big Trouble in Little China.
I've never seen that one. I've only seen Wayne's World.
Hopefully they won't remake that one like they did the Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, have you seen that yet?
You know what's funny about that? I've never seen the original Dumb and Dumber.
What's wrong with you?
There's a lot of movies like that I never saw.
Man, don't they have movie theaters in Jersey?
I was a poor kid. We had to watch it on VHS. We had Wayne's World, I remember. Yeah.
No shit. Speaking of New Jersey, I hear your boy is quarantining people with his authority of his position. Or he's trying to. What do you think about that?
All right, hold on. That was just a cold opening where we make fun of Neil. All right, welcome. We'll do the official opening now. Welcome to the Discord file. I'm your host, John Corbett. It's Mischief night, October 30th. That's why TK is here. He's going to hijack the show. This is his last hurrah for the year. I think he's our six-time defending champion guest.
Fucking
We know we got one more show before I'm going to do the season finale to wrap up the year. And I think it was a good year. People like the show. It's the show where I talk over people and piss off Australians. They seem...
I read that. That was funny.
I've got to do, before I do the cold opening, I got to pop. Speaking of pills, that's what got me thinking about Neil. I got to pop one myself. I went to...
Is Neil sharing?
Yeah, now that I got the full-fledged health care, the dental care, go to the dentist, I get some fillings, one side hurts, I go to the dentist, they pop it, take care of that. Go to the other side, they do a couple fillings, I've been in a fucking pain for 10 days. I go back there, I'm like, yo, what the hell, man? And they just give me some Motrin, like, here you go. So that got me thinking, TK, and my question is, I think I got a bad dentist. I think he's just not very good. What percentage of the American population are just really shitty at their jobs?
I don't know, maybe 20%.
20, I got it around 60.
I feel like it's kind of like a self-correcting system, right? Like, sure, you could be shitty at your job for a while, but sooner or later, someone's going to notice your productivity and your output. So, they'll can you and go get another shitty person, and maybe the cycle might repeat for a while. But I think ultimately, it'll correct itself. What do you think, John? Are you good at your job as a security guard, John?
Yeah, but I'm good at my job. Nothing gets stolen. That's the whole point.
Busted anybody yet?
Huh?
Have you busted? Have you had to chase away somebody, or what do you guard exactly? Boat docks, right?
Yeah, boats, man. Boats are really expensive. So that's why.
You ever had to chase anybody away, or have you ever caught anybody doing anything they shouldn't be doing?
Yeah, the biggest confrontation I got in this year, it was in the springtime. I had a couple in a row. It was a spring of young douchebags, a lot of young guys acting tough for no reason. And middle of the night, I guess the boat ran out of gas, and they're hiding out in the bathroom. We have these two bathrooms next to each other, for the guests and for the people in the boat. They have showers and whatnot. But they're hiding out in there. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I go up there. I try to be nice. I'm like, is there a problem? And there's two guys and two girls. The guys start acting tough, just trying to impress the girls. Give me a hard time. I try to let them go. They go back in the bathroom. I'm like, you gotta get out of there. Moral of the story is, I go back up there. Dude's like 6 foot. Both kids like 19, 20. Dude's like 6'4", big dude, probably a football player. And I walk up there. He starts grabbing rocks. He puts rocks in his pockets. And I'm just like, come on, man, this is gonna lead to bad things. And it got to the point where it was me, the two of them. I got a hatchet in my hand and a giant maglite flashlight. And
Yeah, you had your safety flashlight?
Yeah, one of the big ass, the Maglots and a hatchet. Because I'm from Jersey, I always got a hatchet. So we got to the point where I'm like, here we are, boys. Like, you gonna leave, or we gonna do this? And they decided to turn around and walk off and get picked up or whatever. But that's the kind of job, yeah. Next thing you know, you're in a 2-on-1 battle royal fight. But I don't know, they didn't want any. So.
Never have to call the police or anything?
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's one thing I noticed. So you grew up in Jersey. Everything is the most populated 10th state. You call 911, you're gonna have 20 cops in about 45 seconds. In Texas, you call a sheriff. The sheriff might be there in a half hour. So yeah, I kind of blew my mind. That's why I was like, yeah. So I bought it. The next day, I went online. I got myself a little taser. So the next time a young punk acts tough, I'm just gonna zap his ass and throw him in a dumpster. I felt like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon, man. I'm like, I'm too old for this shit, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. Now I think so. Everywhere I go, man, even like fast food places, you go to the cashier, I give the girl, like, it'll be like, I'm weird, I got a little OCD with change. Like if it's 20, let's say if it's like 1952, and I'll give her 2 pennies, so I get 2 quarters back because I'm weird. It like completely, she gets like a blank stare on her face, and she don't know what to do. It's like, fucking Jesus Christ, like how hard is it? Like it's first grade math, Like,
Yeah.
Go to a lot of places. And I just think people suck at their jobs. It's a lot higher than we think, and it's not going to correct itself because there's going to be more dumbasses coming into the workforce.
So what's the fix, John? How do we fix that?
Not have dumb kids. I think that's how you fix it. But there's going to be shitty people, yeah, even like dentists and stuff. There's professionals who aren't good at their jobs, and they're just.
Yeah, I think definitely people confuse, like you're sure you're a dentist, right? But there's like a customer service component to that I don't think a lot of people realize, right? Like, I'll go to school to be a dentist, but you're also dealing with people all day, so you also have to kind of be like a people person, and sometimes they're not always, the same person isn't always good for both roles.
Yeah, you're right. It's funny about you said about the service, but I realize he's got a really shitty bedside manner too. He's just a weird. Talks to you like you're a child. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get into a thing about my dentist. That's not a really interesting topic. But so you were all fired up. I said, come on, TK, one last one-off. And you sent me a whole another rampage list of topics. So go ahead. You want to hijack the show?
Because your list was pathetic.
Yeah, I started writing like half a list, and then I got tired. I started playing Destiny too. Now I've been playing Destiny on the PlayStation. So I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
How was that? You like that game? I've seen it.
I'm not big on the shooter games. Now it's gonna be story time apparently. I bought the FIFA Soccer. I bought a new PS3. I go to the store. Huh?
Nobody plays soccer in Texas.
I've always actually they do. Kids, it's pretty big kid sport. I've always played FIFA on the video games. I've always loved it, but EA Sports fucked up the game. It's got to get patched or something. It's getting really a big nerd topic now. But I bought the bundle, so the kids and the female have a game to play. But I just started playing it now. I've never played Halo, never played Call of Duty, but
Call of Duty is the best shooter game ever made.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been on shooters, but it's something new. But so go ahead, man. You got your list. I didn't write your list of topics down. Fire away.
Let's start first with my whole Chris Christie comment. I'm just curious on what you think of him as the governor trying, with Cuomo of New York, I think, imposing, quarantines. How do you feel about that?
Governor Jabba the Hutt is he's never gonna be president. And I don't know if I said, and I don't know if I said this on the show before. And he's not going to ever be president, not because he's fat. Americans were all fat. We're ready
Didn't
for that.
he wait for a while though? Like, didn't he get bypass or something?
No, he just took a big shit, and then he had another pizza. He's never going to be. America's ready for a fat president, but he's got an ugly wife. And America will not tolerate an ugly first lady.
I don't think the current first lady's that hot, bro. She kind of looks like Predator to me.
She got arms. You're scared of.
She got arms and like her face,
You're afraid of, like, Serena Williams probably terrifies you. It's just not your thing. You can't handle that kind of woman. I don't know.
Well, I can handle it. I just don't, feel like,
Are you more of a Barbara Bush type of guy that does it for you?
Actually, come to think of it, I don't remember any of the first ladies. Like, I know their names, but, like, I never really looked at them, They're just all usually old by the time they get to the office anyway, so it's like,
That's not fair. Barbara Bush was a looker back in the day, back in the 40s. That's actually a true story. She's I don't know why I was watching something on the better George Bush.
So anyway, go on. Tell me what you think about your boy.
Oh, they're fucking morons, TK. You can't. Why are you gonna scare healthcare workers? The job's shitty enough, and now they're gonna come home and deal with a bunch of fucking politicians and paranoid people. Are you scared of Ebola?
I was kind of thinking about this. Like, what if you knowingly had it, right? And you broke your quarantine, right? And it tells you to stay in your house, and you don't stay in your house because it's voluntary, and you go for your jog, or you go to the bowling alley, and you give Ebola to somebody. Should you be held liable for that transmission? I mean, you're not knowingly giving it to someone, but you kind of are.
Is it just that eventually people are going to sue people for getting them sick?
Well, it's like AIDS, right? Like if you have AIDS and you go and have sex with somebody and give it to them intentionally, they can come after you, and you could go to prison.
I thought it was like herpes. You don't tell them until after you get married, and then terrible. Don't ever do that. That's a terrible thing to do.
I mean, I'd be kind of pissed off, right? Like if somebody knew they had Ebola and didn't care or didn't, want to follow the quarantine order, and then they get it to you.
Yeah, like I told you on the message boards, you being scared of Ebola in California is like me being scared of polar bears in Texas.
No, that's not the point, though. That's not the point.
So many things that are going to kill you. You got so many things that are going to kill you.
Stay on message here. Stay on message. Okay. The question was, should the person be held liable if they break quarantine and transmit it to someone?
Liable how? Like criminal? I don't know.
Yeah, criminal. Like they're knowingly giving a potentially deadly disease to someone. When the government said no, stay in your house.
It's negligence. It's not intention. It's not intent. I'm not a lawyer, TK, but you're talking about intent and you're talking about negligence.
Let me ask you this. So the person they transmit Ebola to dies of it. Let's just say hypothetically, right? That person dies. Do you think that other person who transmitted it, knowing they had Ebola, going into a public place?
No one knows that they got Ebola. No, these people don't know they have Ebola.
Stay on message. Stay on message. Right? It's a yes or a no, man. Quit dancing around it. Do you feel like they should be held liable? I was thinking about this today, so I'm kind of curious. I mean, you're like a former lefty, and now you're like a conservative. Because you live in Texas now, like, what's your opinion on it?
Texas has not changed my political. I've always been all over the map. That's never going to be.
Okay, so do you think they should be held liable? I think it's kind of a serious question with all the people breaking quarantine, going on bike rides and shit.
I don't know about liable. What do you want to do? You want to throw them in jail? You want to?
Yeah, like if they knew they had Ebola and left their house and went to the store and gave it to somebody. You're
creating a straw man. There's no creating a straw man argument. There is no healthcare worker who got Ebola and is now.
I know that. I realize that. But let's just pretend.
Hypothetical situation.
Like the gentleman, I believe there was one in New York City. There was a doctor in New York City who got it, and hours before realizing he had it, he went out to dinner or went to a bowling alley or something like that, and then he said, "Oh shit, I have it," and turned himself in. Right? That case is different. Let's say you're in quarantine and you break the quarantine and you give it to someone. Should you get in trouble somehow?
I don't know about trouble, but
no.
But we're getting.
You must be no, John.
You need somebody to lying. The shit in Dallas actually goes back to people sucking out their jobs. The shit in Dallas should have never gotten outbreak. The two nurses should have never gotten it. And they sucked at their jobs, and that's what happened.
I heard they followed the CDC, guidelines to the letter, and they still got it.
Nah, somebody fucked up. Come on now.
Think so?
Listen, TK, like I told Charlie when he was on the show, you're gonna die in a whole earthquake, in a hole full of sharks and water in a whirlpool. That's how you're nothing to worry about. You gotta find if you're worried about Ebola. You got to find something else.
I'm not worried about Ebola. That's not the problem. I'm just, I was thinking. You think about how many people suck at their job a day. I'm kind of, wondering.
It affected me. I'm tired of going places and no one can do their fucking job.
Yeah, I can't even get a yes or no answer out of you.
Your question don't make any goddamn sense.
You want me to re-explain it? I could do it in 5 sentences.
It's a hypothetical straw man argument. I'm sorry, I couldn't pick up.
It's not an argument. I'm not trying to argue one point or the other. I just want to know what you think. Should they be criminally held liable or not?
my brother today, we're sitting watching TV. He's like, I'm sick of hearing about Ebola, and I agree with him. We're just done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not gonna be scared about it. Because after the election, you're not gonna hear about Ebola anymore. All right, good, quick on pilot. The election is coming up. You think the Republicans are going to take the Senate?
I think it's going to be real close, but I think they will. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be closer than they think it will be, but I think they'll take it. How about you?
Well, it's funny.
That was John, and it's been 5 minutes dancing around, spinning it.
Well, all the experts, being a political predictor is like being an economics and a weatherman. It's a job where that's a job where you're allowed to be shitty at your job and people think you're smart. They all think everyone predicts the Senate, but the one guy, I think it's a guy who predicted every state in the last two presidential elections. He'd say no, Democrats are going to hold on. So I'm just going to go with that guy. And my gut instinct is that they don't.
You think they're going to hold on?
I don't. At the end of the day, what does it really change? It don't change shit. No one's. Obama's been cop block for 6 years. What's two more?
I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy how they won't admit that they vote with him, even though their record is right there, or they won't, endorse him or whatnot, or Harry Reid. You haven't seen all those where they interview like your girl Debbie Wasserman, and they ask her like straight out, do you support the president or did you vote with the president? And she won't answer it for 5 minutes.
Well, around here, you gotta understand, in this, especially my part of the country now, you don't even hear the words Democrat or Republican. It's who can be whiter, who can love guns more, and who can just and then the person who's Democrat, you just throw Obama's face next to the person. In Texas, it's Wendy Davis versus a guy in a wheelchair. And
the wheelchair
yeah, I'm shocked. I'm actually impressed. He's a Republican. I'll be shocked if Texas, they elect women. They elect. We haven't seen. I can't remember the last guy in a wheelchair since FDR, right? Not in my lifetime. Yeah, I don't know any. But no, he's just a border security, and that's what we need. More money. That's going to help. But all right, switching. So now the big deal. Everyone's happy about gas prices being low, and
I didn't notice. Are they lower?
Yeah, they're down to like $3 nationally.
What are they over at? What are they in your area?
They've been dropping pretty well. I think it's 260 or 270, something like that.
337, I think, in LA here.
Yeah, I like how we're told we should be happy about. We're all like, hey, look, you won't freeze to death in the winter.
It's $1 cheaper over there where you're at. I think. Wow, that's a lot.
It goes by state taxes, and how close you are to a refinery. And Houston is right; it's close by.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. With the oil companies have been gouging us for a decade.
Well, I don't know, man. I see the tax for the state and the federal tax, it's like 60 or 70 cents a gallon, man.
I don't know. I like being told I'm being done a favor when it's 260 or 270. Like, TK, if I punched you in the face every day, let's say I live next to you, I punch you in the face every day for a whole year, and one day I go, nah, you're good, TK. You're going to be like, wow, thanks, man. Thanks for not punching me in.
Can I get a please or a thank you?
Yeah, that's how I feel the gas companies are treating me. They've been kicking me in the balls for 10 years, and now they're giving me a one-day break before Thanksgiving comes, and they jack up the prices where everyone travels.
Like I said, man, you don't got it that bad. I'd die for $2.30 a gallon gasoline. All of California would.
All right, you called me half a conservative earlier, and I'll prove that what that means to me. Michigan, they banned Tesla. The electric cars.
Yeah.
All right, so Michigan, they got a weird business model. The internet, they sell directly to consumers, and Michigan, along with other states, including Texas, they've outlawed that practice. They have to go through retail, car sales lobbies and all that stuff. Now, if you're a conservative, TK, where's your free market on this? This is fucked up, right? You should.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it is fucked up. I don't see a reason why you should ban them, right? I mean, it's just a company. I don't think it's right for the government to ban them from selling their stuff, regardless of whose toes they step on. Because ultimately, I believe in the best product, and if Tesla is the best product, then let the market prove it. Don't off the bat ban them. That seems kind of underhanded to me a little bit, right? Just let it go, and if it fails, it fails, and if it doesn't, then good job, Tesla.
Yeah, right? it's capitalism evolution there, So, but these are Republicans. blocking it, right? When it comes to free market, a lot of Republicans are full of shit, right?
I don't know. I mean, in the Tesla example, if it was the Republicans pushing for that ban and not the unions through the Democrats, then I would say, yeah, the Republicans are pretty fucked up for that. But I don't know if they're the ones that pushed for that ban or not.
Yeah, Tesla's crushing it right now. A lot of people want to get on
If they're the ones that pushed for it?
What's that?
You know if they're the ones that pushed for it?
Who pushed for what?
Who got Tesla banned?
It's definitely the retailers, all the car dealerships. And Texas is big too. Cars are big business in Texas. Every commercial.
Tesla's kind of weird, man. Like I go to the mall out here and they have a store in the mall, Tesla.
Yeah, that's how they just have showrooms and then people go home and they can go online and buy it. I mean, they're so ahead of the curve right now in Detroit. They're scared. They're like, and you're right. It comes down to that's how it should be. That's how free market should work. Survival of the fittest when it comes to how you sell your shit and the quality of your stuff. So there you go, TKC. I'm a free market capitalist.
Now let me flip that around on you. Right? Should Obama be able to tell you as a company you have to provide health insurance? Like Obamacare, it's mandatory now. Not just for full time, but for everyone.
He should if it becomes a problem where companies aren't doing come on, man. Like companies like Walmart, all they do is shit on their employees. They only do the bare minimum. And
well, that's why they're able to keep their prices so low, and that's why everybody likes Walmart.
Yeah, but to get into statistical nerd stuff, for them to pay their employees a living wage, they would have to raise the prices by 1.6%.
And that's another thing. Who said you have to have a livable wage working at Walmart or McDonald's or something like that?
Well, that's a humanity question. TK, shouldn't everyone have a living wage?
No, they should, but it should be, there's some, should I have a livable wage mowing lawns? Or washing cars? Or sweeping? If I get a job sweeping, should somebody have to pay me $40,000 or whatever the livable wage amount is? Or should it be minimum?
If you do it 40 hours a day, you do it for a company that's making money off your work. Why not?
Well, that would be up to the company to dictate. I think it's right that the government.
That's the downside. We're all about free market and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, come on, man, companies are gonna.
That is free market.
There's got to be, huh?
You can't say government, don't tell me what I can and can't sell, but tell me what I should pay my employee.
Congress regulates business.
The other man.
Come on, man, that's just the beginning of America. Congress regulates business. You have to have. Now, granted, you got to have smarter regulation. You can't. It's a balance.
You're confused. You need to stay on message tonight, John. On one hand, you're telling me that it's okay for the government to regulate some things, but then you're telling me it's not okay for the government to regulate other things.
Hey, no, Michigan didn't regulate Tesla. They cut his balls off. That's different.
Right.
That's not
the message there is the government should not say, outside of bombs and shit, what you can sell and what you can't sell.
So you're against a minimum wage? You would have.
I'm against the idea that if you work in a minimum wage type of job, you should be expecting to earn a livable wage.
So,
right, if you work in a trade, if you're a plumber or an electrician, or you have some kind of computer science skill, then yeah, there's some kind of expectancy there to make enough money to survive. And if the employer is not willing to pay you that, then you get your hustle on and you go across the street and try to find somebody who will. Right? You shouldn't sit there and say, government, this guy's not paying me.
They're not. They're not saying that. They're working people. These are working people.
Man.
What job is worth?
I agree they're working people, but you should make a fair wage for what you do in relation to what you do. You shouldn't say just because I have a job I should be making this. Well, right? You go to the employer and say, how much are you willing to pay me? The employer will say this, and it's up to you to take it or leave it and move on to the next one. There's no inherent hustle anymore.
You don't think a giant corporation like Walmart can profit off of these people they're doing decent jobs? TK, the way you talk about these people, I'm confused. if they're just a cashier at Walmart, why is that job any? Yeah, a plumber is going to make more than a cashier. No one's saying they wouldn't. But the bottom, TK, I don't understand why you set the bottom so low. This is America.
I'm not setting the bottom low. It's not like I'm forcing people to work in this one.
You're setting it below the poverty line. There's a lot.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, if you're below the poverty line and you know you're below the poverty line, work to improve yourself so you can make more money. Don't sit there at Walmart and say, I'm below the poverty line, help me out.
Work at Walmart, TK.
You go and you try to get a better job that pays you more.
That's what I mean by not everybody has careers, TK.
That's fine. Then you go and work 2 jobs, or you
people should have to work more than 40 hours a week.
This is my issue with John Corbett, right?
Hold on one second. So the world you described to me for the last 10 minutes is like 19th century robber baron before
No, it's not. I still believe in minimum wage. I still believe in healthcare benefits for full-time employees, but I believe in self-responsibility. Right? Like
those things don't just because you said companies have to pay a livable wage. How does it take away personal responsibility? Bad people can still get fired. No one's saying jobs you can't lose your job. You just
what I mean by that is I'm saying, okay, I make $6 an hour, for example, cutting grass. Right? I know that I can't support my family on $6 an hour. So me as an individual, I need to go and get a second job or try to gain a skill set where I can go get a better paying job. Right?
Why can't we have both? Why can't the one job? Why $6 an hour? What year are you living in? 1997?
Or what is it? $8 an hour now, or $9 an hour, whatever it is.
Federal $7.50 in each state.
There should just be a certain you shouldn't. Pay has to follow skill set.
You understand that in America, there's no middle class manufacturing jobs anymore. You have retail and you have careers. What livable wage? You got to have a bottom. It's got to be at least. You got to pay people enough to.
Yeah, I understand that the world needs ditch diggers, right? But the ditch diggers shouldn't expect to make enough to survive digging a ditch.
What's wrong with digging a ditch? What's wrong?
If you want to go dig a ditch, that's cool. But don't expect.
TK Nicholas Tesla dug ditches. After what's his name? The other electricity guy fired him. Tesla dug ditches until he got his shit together. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with honest
digging ditches. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with digging ditches. It's the expectancy that the government is going to come in and support you, and you're going to live off the government.
No one's living off the government. He has a job working 40 hours a week. That's the whole point of a minimum wage. So people don't have to live off the government. It's Walmart pays their employees low. The government gives out food assistance, and then the people who work at Walmart with their food stamps buy stuff from Walmart and they profit off it. You understand? They're double dipping, TK.
You're assuming that everybody spends their money where they work. Right?
Well, trust me, as Walmarts are crushing everything, they've knocked out. Come on, stores.
Like I go to stores I go to McDonald's. Every time there's a minimum wage increase, their prices go up 50 cents. Right?
Come on, no, we already no.
There's a car wash down the street that charges $4 more than they did the previous month for the same thing because minimum wage has gone up.
The Container Store pays their employees almost 50% more than any other retailer, and they're doing just fine.
That's fine. That's their decision to make.
Yeah, but they don't have to gouge people. They don't have to, make a fortune off the backs of other people.
I'm with you there. They don't have to gouge people, and that's a company.
You don't think these companies could pay these wages and everything? You think it would break the system? You think people? What does it hurt if Walmart raised their prices 1.6%?
There's nothing wrong with. I understand what you're saying, but it's Oh man, I just lost my train of thought. I was going to say something about.
First of all, if Walmart raised their prices,
it gets passed on to the consumer the price of payroll.
I'm willing to pay 1.6% more so everyone, the millions of people at Walmart can get paid a livable wage. I'm willing to pay 69 cents instead of 68 cents for a box of macaroni and cheese. Why is everybody else? Why is it so hard?
I'm not.
Well, you're a bad person. That's what it comes down to.
That doesn't make me a bad person.
You want the prices at the expense.
Who said if John Corbett pays 65 more cents for this product that Walmart is going to raise minimum wage or raise the,
No,
you
they
know?
could. What it would take. That's what it would take. I'm not saying that that's what it would take for them to give all their employees. I think it's 13.50 an hour to for the average for a livable wage. That's it. It don't take much, but they want to keep everything, gotta keep it low. All right, I think we ran out this topic. I'm gonna go not so serious.
Talk to me about the World Series, John. Talk to me about. Did you watch the World Series?
Yeah, kind of. Yesterday I was at work, so I listened to it on the radio like it was 1945. By the end of the day, I was just sick of hearing the name Bumgarner. It's such a silly name.
I know. Like they got to get off that guy's sack. It's so.
Well, no. He deserves every bit of his credit, the credit he's due. But I just hate the name. It's just silly Bumgarner. I'm like, all right, his name. It's such a girly first name, Madison. It's just the worst. It's such a shitty name. I'm just so sick of it. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to hear the name Bumgarner anymore. But yeah, it was.
Do you think the Giants would have won if he was not pitching during the series?
No, they don't win that series without him. Five innings of relief in a game 7. That's historic. I mean, Randy Johnson came in once. I remember that, and then maybe another guy. But no, it was all because of him. He won the series. But they don't. Royals win the game.
I feel the same way. I feel like they really pulled it out because of him.
Well, that's why he's an MVP.
But I in a way, I kind of feel bad for the Royals though. Because they're such a. I mean, they haven't been there in so long, and they finally go, and I just feel kind of bad for their fans.
Are you you're not one of these dynasty guys, are you? Obsessed with calling things dynasties?
No.
Yeah. First of all,
I'm more for the town that I like baseball more than I like a particular team. So I kind of feel like like spread around. The Giants, I think they said like won 4 out of the last 6 or 3 out of the last 5 World Series. And so I feel like San Francisco's kind of seen enough of that kind of glory, and I would have liked to have seen the Royals win. Because they're. I mean, they have fans, right? And it takes a good, strong dedication to be a fan of a team that hasn't won anything for so long. So I thought it would have been nice for that team to win.
yeah, that's a good thing about baseball. You get those teams every now and then that haven't won shit in 3 decades, and you always root for those guys. How could you not? But yeah, it's just silly to have to classify something as a dynasty. And I think if you're going to do it, it's got to be in a modern age. It's got to be 3 out of 4. So 3 out of 5. Because you're never going to have like Celtics runs like when they won like 8, 9 straight NBA championships. But back then the leagues were only like 12 teams, so it's all bullshit. The Yankees, their 26 World Championships are, that's great. Every Yankees fan, 26, like, who gives a fuck? You had to play 8 teams in the American League back then. So I don't know. That's it. Yeah.
Baseball team, John. Do you have a team?
Huh?
Do you have a team for baseball?
When it comes to sports, I'm all Philadelphia. All 4. That's
Phillies, right? I think it's the Phillies.
Hmm.
The Phillies, I think.
You don't even know what fucking team? I thought you were a baseball fan.
I am a little bit. It's been a while.
Fucking California. You guys are the worst sports fans. Oh, man. So, I saw in the news the Pope, the Gaucho Pope, he's down with evolution and the Big Bang. I guess he's been watching
I seen that. I seen that.
He's been watching the show.
What did I hear? I heard somewhere before where it was like somebody said that religion is for those times or for those things that science can't explain. Well, I don't know where I heard that from, but it kind of made sense to me a little bit. So I could see, them jumping on board.
Well, what are you gonna what are you gonna do? You can't keep denying shit forever. Well, they can in America, but. So I was given one question since we haven't talked about Trek yet. It came from the chat room before we started. Something about online Trek, and I got real sad when just the words online Trek.
Why? I've been holding tournaments pretty regularly for it. It's fun.
Yeah, but is there a problem with players dropping out or players?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few players that will sign up, like your boy Nader, my other troll. Right? He'll come with his 1900 rating and lose a game, and then drop the rest of the game so he doesn't suck for the rest of the tournament and drop 100 points. Right? So that's one area that people are complaining about, is that people drop to protect their rating. Right? Which I think is bullshit, and that shouldn't be allowed. They should just get losses. On the other side, people are complaining about, and I'm one of the people complaining that when people sign up for a tournament, they'll play around. However they do, we go in round 2, and then they're nowhere to be found. right? Like the opponent can't get a hold of them, they're not responding, right? They know that they've seen the message because you can tell it goes from your outbox to your sent folder, right? But they just disappear. And so a lot of us online tournament directors kind of feel like, well, why are you wasting our time? That's kind of disrespectful to the other players, to the tournament director, to your opponent, right? And we understand that it's just something we do for fun, and that there's no prizes behind this, there's no money, it's online, whatever, right? But don't make the commitment if you're not willing to follow through with it, right? And if you're not serious about it, because then you're...
Are you trying to tell me there's a couple bad Trek players, a couple bad apples out there? I don't believe it. I'm shocked.
Right, and the problem is that they're repeat offenders, at least in my experience, right? There's a few individuals that sign up that they do this every time, so I'm just kind of like, well, why do you even sign up for?
I've asked myself why a couple times in Trek about how people act. I don't know. I'm done asking why. I already said it. We had that show way back earlier.
That's kind of the thread, but I think reading through everything, it's mostly for us just a respect thing. You know, like don't sign up. And we were just kind of talking about, you know, what would curtail people from doing that. And I felt my position was, well, you sign them full losses, right? You know, sign them full losses. And so one person went on and said, well, you know, life happens, shit happens. You know, it's just something we do for casual fun. And to that I kind of said, well, shit, man, if I see you coming on the message boards posting, you know, going into the chat room, you have time to write a 10-second message to your opponent telling them that you can't do it this week, or you can do it this time or that time.
So people are assholes, basically.
I don't know if they're assholes, John. I just think that, you know, don't make commitments if you can't follow up. You know what I mean? Because that just wastes everybody's time. Your time, my time.
Just call them assholes. Just call them assholes, DK. You know.
You know, I'm just kind of wondering when you're gonna, you know, stop hiding in Texas and come online and play.
I was already anti-online Trek, and this news.
Why, man? Why are you on? Why?
I don't know how it works, DK. In my head, I can't. I'm done.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. Everybody's doing it now.
I played like 10 minutes of an online game one time back in the day, and it was terrible. It made me scared.
Did you play it on Lackey or did you play it on?
This is a long time ago. I don't remember.
It was like chat room or some shit, right? And, I'm telling you, man, Skype is good.
It was not enjoyable.
Skype is good now, man. Like, you ought to give it a chance. A lot of people are coming on board, you know, every tournament. I see new faces. The TK Invitational Series is taking off, you know. You should come.
TK, I'm not telling people not to do it. I'm just saying that, I don't know. I once swore that I never played triples, and that don't. Maybe one day. I never can say never. My last news story is NASA. Since we don't have any more shuttles.
Oh, that was bad, bro.
Yeah, since we don't have any more shuttles, we have to pay. There's two private companies that send shit up to the space station, and guess what? They suck at their jobs too. So even the rocket scientists.
What do you think of that when Obama, you know, discontinued that NASA, you know, all the NASA stuff? You think that was?
There should have been like a year gap. I think she had something ready to go before you cut the one off. I don't know. People don't want to pay for it. There's a lot of people out there. My brother sent me a text about it, like, oh, that money could have millions of dollars. That money could have went to somewhere else.
Yeah, I find it's kind of 50-50, right? Like, some people think it should have kept going. Other people should have, you know, thought it was a waste of money. Where do you fall in that?
Well, I'm more philosophical when it comes to it. 99% of every species that's ever existed on this planet is extinct. There's only one way to beat those odds, and that's getting the fuck out of here. So I'm all for spending the money to make shit go up into the sky. You know, besides being a general nerd who gets off on it, but just, you know, eventually the Earth changes, and you know, eventually they don't love you no more, and you die out, and something else takes your place.
Wasn't that over there by Neil's house, over there in Virginia somewhere, or next to Washington, where it shot off from?
I don't know. It must have been on the coast because it's something about an island. So.
Yeah. I think it was up there, kind of towards Virginia somewhere.
Yeah, it was in Virginia, something island, I guess, where the company.
Yeah, that blew up pretty well though. That was pretty entertaining.
And they said it might have been the engines, and the engines were Russian made.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russian-made engines. We got to pay them.
Russian Trek players, you watch it.
That if we're gonna, it's bad enough that our space program is in shambles, and then we have to pay Russians
Yeah,
to guys
that's
up.
what I understand. Like, you discontinue our whole program, but then you send the money overseas. You know what I mean? Like, he couldn't have kept the rocket launching portion of it alive. You know?
Like I said, you gotta have something else ready to go before you cut out the shuttles. But I don't know. But there's a segment of the population who thinks the money, and it doesn't compare to like defense spending and sort of like other things. Space programs don't cost that much.
No,
We're talking millions, not like tens of millions maybe, but not billions or anything. So
no, it's definitely not a war, or, you know.
yeah, a lot of killing brown people, dropping bombs on brown people is a lot more expensive than shooting stuff into space. That's
Yeah.
it. I'm at a news story. What do you got? You got your last hurrah. This is it for 2014.
Let's see. Let's see. The period of review. I haven't talked to you since the periods of review
Uh-oh.
completed. Yeah.
I try to forget that too, like that 5 minutes you spent talking about online Trek.
What a piece of shit.
I didn't watch the public relations one. I barely got through.
Did you watch? Which there was? There was a 1E one, there was a 2E one, there was an OP one. Did you didn't watch any of them?
I watched the first half of the OP one, and it's sad because at work I got nothing else to do. Literally, I have nothing.
I felt the same way.
And I watched the first half, and I just couldn't bring myself to watch the second half.
It was tough, man. Like, you get asked a 30-second question and you go into a 10-minute long explanation.
Yeah,
Like, ugh.
yeah, Matthias turns into story time, and yeah, it's a 45-second answer, but yeah, you get a long-winded.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like,
know.
that's a fucking question, dude. Like, I could sum all that up in 2 sentences. You know?
Yeah, so yeah, I couldn't do it anymore. And God bless him. If he's trying, he's trying. But I couldn't sit there. Not that I'm the most interesting man in the world, but I couldn't. It was boring me. It was boring me to tears. And I was hearing answers that I really didn't care for anyway. So
Yeah, it was interesting, the whole conversation about the bracket system for day 2. That, you know, they asked about that. I don't know if you've seen that part or not.
yeah, well, I posted something to Charlie about the only way to do all Swiss, is you have to do a 3-day event, and they don't want to do 3-day events anymore. And don't have to be that long of days. You just have to have a 3-day event because you got to do a couple rounds of Swiss so you can whittle it down. And then day 3 would be the top 6 playing a 5-rounder. And then everyone plays everyone. That's the only true fair way to do a Swiss. You don't want to do a big field, have like a limited number of rounds, and then people end up
Who wants to fly across the country to sit across from Neil to go to time? You know what I mean?
I'm okay if you want. You can get rid of bracket. I'm not in love with bracket. I'm always for what would be better. But if you took like the pure Minnesota approach, which would be like, screw it, just do 5 rounds with a 37-player field and have a final confrontation. That would be the worst fucking tournament you could play in, because you have like a bunch of, if you lose one game, you're never gonna make the final, and you might as well not play. I think I posted my system would be, you have day 1 open to everybody. That day, the top 16 go on to day 2, and then day 2 we would do 6 rounds, and then the top 6 would qualify for day 3. And then day 3, like I said, 5-round round robin. Winner is world champion. That's the only fair way to do it. A Swiss. You're gonna need.
I just kind of feel like me and you could sit here and talk about it, and everybody in the community could talk about it, but it's just going to come down to 2 or 3 people and what their favorite is.
Matthias doing what he wants. Just like everything does. Yeah, well, James, it came down to doing what he wants. Yeah, people are nice and they act like they're democratic, but when they want worlds, it's in their backyard. Where's yours going to be? In Thomas Schneider's backyard. So yeah, it's
the chairman's backyard. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that worked out. It's almost like that every time there's a major event. Like, oh, where's this event going to be? Oh, in the North American coordinator's backyard. Or where's this one going to be? Oh, in Charlie's backyard. I'm sorry, community. I'm sorry, we just didn't have time to plan. There was an accident. It's our fault. We're just volunteers. I'm not going to play the volunteer card, but I'm playing the volunteer card. I just kind of gave up on trying to voice my opinions and shit like that.
Well, that's because a lot of people put stuff off because you have things to do, and then when it comes down to make a decision, you go, all right, what's the easiest thing to do? I run it where I'm at, and then I can run it. If they want to. Hey, it's all right. All right. I don't put my kids to bed. They stay up all night. They're animals. What was I talking about? If they want to get off the schneid, though, if they're going to break that trend, I did send a proposal to the new North American, whatever the fuck he is, about doing a Masters in Texas because there's really not really a player base here. There's some players, but there's not really a local play group that play consistently. And so a central location. It'll be the first time there's a tournament. Middle of the trying to set up from scratch, and hopefully, it'll be a situation where the lodging will be taken care of. Basically, the only thing people have to pay for is the plane ticket to get there, and everything else is taken care of. It'll be the first time someone actually hosted an event, completely hosted, and then we'll see how that proposal goes. But we'll see if.
Let me on the Masters front, I am surprised because I'm from San Diego, where one of the West Coast Masters is going to be held, and I'm going to be going to it. Just how much more widely advertised and kind of hustled Timmons, the Maryland Masters is compared to the San Diego Masters. Like, Neil's already got this fucking hotel thing worked out, and there's already this giant thread on it, and he's hustling it and talking to people. I haven't heard shit about the San Diego one.
What do you think Neil learned how to promote? Who do you think taught Neil how to promote things?
I don't know.
Jerry,
we'll see how he does after his head injury. Maybe he'll start maybe he'll start finishing before.
No, it's not. He don't have Dame Bramage. So he busted his face up, and I told him. I said, "What? He had to go to surgery tonight." And I said, "You should go for the full Nick Cage, John Travolta face off. Get a whole new face put on him. A lot better than the old one."
Yeah, shit.
The answer to your question, TK, is because people on the East Coast like fun, and the people on the West Coast are a bunch of fucking assholes who don't know how to promote things and get people excited to do things.
No, I kind of feel like, I should have. Sometimes I feel like it's just too PC. Nobody wants to hurt feelings. Nobody can say anything. You can't
because turns out San Diego is actually a little pricey, not pricey, but it's tougher to get to. I'm doing the whole Maryland trip for what it would cost me just to get to San Diego.
Well, Maryland has a bigger airport than San Diego's airport.
It's just, I don't know, that's what the prices are. It's like two and change for a one-way, and that's for Dallas, and that's Southwest, which is shocking. So San Diego is even people up in Seattle were saying it's easier to get to Boston.
Well, have you tried American? Because Dallas is American's hub.
So it's Southwest. I don't want if it's not Southwest, I'm not flying it.
Oh, fuck that fucking who reserves your ticket or reserves your seat first gets better seats. Like, fuck that. Like, come on.
All I do is go 24 hours before your flight, check in. You got a seat, but I float Spirit
right at 12:01.
Yeah, but I'm gonna pay more money, and I'm gonna pay bags on top of that. Fuck you. Southwest is crushing it. Southwest they're gonna blow everything away. They're killing it in domestic flights. They're making money hand over fist right now. They're gonna start going everywhere.
So speaking of major events, why are you going on such a rant about Worlds moving away from Gen Con, man? Why are you so stuck on Worlds at Gen Con?
That's a bad idea. It's simply a bad Wastelander idea. Only people in the frozen wasteland even consider that. It's a terrible.
I think Minnesota or wherever the fuck they're at, like that's an equally as bad idea. That's not exactly a vacation destination either, right? But
yeah, well, the word is destination. Gen Con is a destination. We should have Worlds at a destination, not at a hotel conference room. For a Masters,
in Chicago or closer.
Where are you gonna do it? Where are you gonna do it? Germany, 2010 Germany was
Miami, Los Angeles, New York, somewhere.
Somewhere. What are you gonna do? Have a bunch of people in the conference room.
Like, dude, it's easier for us to say because it's closer to us, but if you're coming from fucking Germany, you're going to want to go to some shithole town like Indianapolis where it's like 80 degrees.
Okay. Unless you go to like New York or LA. Come on now. It don't matter. And I'm talking about one guy in Germany. They'll come. They've always been coming. Germans don't even travel to England. They won't even leave their country. So fuck the Germans. It's Gen Con is good for business. They've been good to us. We've been supporting them for 10 years. They've been supporting us. It's just a good place to be. And you go to, let's say, I'm gonna go to Chicago, and then I went to the conference room and we played it. And let's say a guy like Daryl, my buddy Daryl, Big Daddy Diesel.
Yeah.
He's done well at Worlds. He's a casual player.
What happened to that guy? I haven't heard from him in ever.
Nah, well, he just comes to the big events. He's still around, but he's just not, playing Trek with me every 2 weeks like he used to. All right, so let's say this guy, he goes to Chicago in a conference room. Oh, he didn't make day one. now he's got to sit around in a hotel conference room and play Race to the Alpha Quadrant. You flew all the way that way. At least Gen Con, if you crap out of Gen Con, if you suck at Trek, it don't matter. You're at Gen Con.
I just don't know if that's worth the cost of the hotel, the food, the admission just in the Gen Con. You have to fly in the tournaments. Like, that's a bit much, man.
Going to a big city in a big conference room, even it's not going to be that much cheaper. And then a bang for your buck. I understand that some people are not they're not sociable. They don't like cons. They don't like big groups of people. There's just going to be antisocial.
Oh, yeah, I get that. I guess my position, I just want it to be more of a destination that would attract more players, right? Who might potentially bring the family.
It's the best location. There's not a better one, and you're not going to have more fun somewhere else. There's not a better proposal. There's not until someone comes along and says this is going to be better, and here's why. Not like, oh, Gen Con, this and that. You can ticky tack and chip away at anything. But it's now let me go to Gen Con. Like I said, Gen Con last year, or this year I should say. I'm sorry, Gen Con this year. It was It wasn't compared to other Gen Cons, but it was still worth it, except for flying home pissed off because of Neil. But even an average ho hum Gen Con, it's still worth the money. I don't, the hotel room, that's a little CC issue where we're staying up in the Ritz Carlton and we're all, that's
a lot of money for a hotel room.
That's the one part. That's where food gets you. But I'm gonna bring the kids. Start doing that, and then they'll get more money out of Gen Con than I will. Talk about Origins way back when. It's just the best. It's just the best place. It has a tradition, and it's a tradition now. We've been doing it so people expect it now. What's wrong with traditions? You're a conservative, TK. You should be able
to bring up the Kiras, bro. The fucking Kira tradition.
Yeah, there's sometimes people have bad traditions too. Slavery was a tradition. I just compared Kira to slavery, but anyway. My point is, there's bad traditions and there's good traditions. And
at the rate we're going, if we were to move worlds away from Gen Con, it would be in Maryland, San Diego, or Seattle area, right? So, I mean... Yeah.
Would it be... TK, the chances of a Worlds in America that's not at Gen Con, 0% of being better than a Worlds at Gen Con, right? 0%. Tell me a scenario. But you had a hypothetical Ebola scenario. Give me this scenario where a non-Gen Con Worlds is better than a Gen Con Worlds. How?
You're telling me you would rather travel to Indianapolis than a city like San Diego? I don't think so. I don't think anybody would travel there. If we were compared to two cities, I don't think anybody would pick Indianapolis over San Diego except the Chicago crowd.
Yeah, but you're comparing the cities. You're not comparing Worlds at San Diego versus Worlds at Gen Con. You're comparing San Diego versus Indianapolis. It's easy to compare cities to Indianapolis.
We're talking destinations first.
No, I don't want to talk destinations. I want to talk about...
of course you don't want to talk destinations because
that's where you're going. They're gonna shit on this. This Worlds is still good. That's one of the last few things in this stupid fucking game that's still good and fun. Is Worlds at fucking Gen Con, and then two fucking dummies want to change that, and then Neil wants to suck Caleb's cock and fucking fantasy play games.
What's up with that? Caleb works at FFG, and they got sodas, and they got a game room, and I love.
You have a snack bar. Are you fucking kidding me? Worlds is Gen Con. It's a fucking fun 4-day event. As my buddy Daryl put it, especially people who have jobs and work and kids, it's 4 days of mindless activities, and it just decompresses you for the rest of your fucking 11 months of your fucking miserable life. It's good. It's a good vacation. It's good fun. You see fucking people. You're going for people at this point. That's what Masters is supposed to be. We're not really selling tournaments. We're selling get-togethers. People getting together, and that's what Gen Con still is. And that's what Masters needs to be. It needs to be places that are cheap to get to. Neil's setting the template. Neil has a lot of faults, but this Masters in Maryland is going to work out because the price. Being able to do the whole thing for $200, including the room and 2 flights to and from, that's amazing. So if we could find locations...
Price for Gen Con. What's your price for Gen Con right now? Would you estimate? What do you spend a year to get to, attend, and come home from Gen Con?
The flights aren't that expensive. You can find flights for $109 each way, so just $200, $225 for flights. Yeah, the room. If I go through a CC racket and pay a lot of money for a room, that might cost me another couple $100, and then so it's going to cost me
$500, $600.
Yeah, yeah, I guess ballpark it 6. That's a whole convention. That's 4 days of gaming, not just a weekend. Masters, we're trying to. We need to set it up so it costs between 2 to 300, or two
Now,
to
were
three.
you part of the rotating Masters crowd, or were you part of the set locations Masters crowd?
No, that was my. I like how Chris took my plan. Like,
Well, everything is Chris's idea, right?
that's fine. He gets like Neil. He did Neil's too.
Right. You have to put the TM after it to make it yours,
That's
right?
Minnesota. That's Minnesota for you. They come up with all sorts of bad ideas, and then they steal the good ones, and then say it was theirs. And they're like, act like they don't pay attention. Oh, I don't read the board. Blah blah blah. They're all full of shit. But no, it's got to be set locations. And if San Diego works out, then good. We'll keep doing it there. And if Maryland should work out, there's people traveling, and we got to find 2 more. Hopefully my bid. But I'm gonna do it a whole different way. I'm gonna host.
I like Florida and Seattle for it, like four corners almost, you know.
So like if TK, if I said you can go to Masters, the Texas State Championship, whatever I decide to call it, and all you got to do, TK, is go on Southwest and buy your plane ticket to and from. Everything else will be taken care of. Would that be something that interests you?
Yeah.
Right. That's all you have to do. You don't got to worry about the hotel. There's no hotel. You don't got to worry about
That's my whole gripe about the San Diego thing. Like, I am literally not part of the San Diego group anymore because I live in LA, right? But I'm the only one that's went on there and tried to organize a hotel room and stuff like that, right? And then I look at fucking your boys' thread, and it's all just built out with details and pictures and whatever, and I'm just like, guys, this is supposed to be a Masters. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, that was the problem. It's organized. You can't just set it up and go, here you go. Here's a link to a hotel that's next door. That's just running a tournament. That's not running. We need hosts. We need people. We need 4 Americans who can host tournaments.
Yeah, they sell it as a destination.
Yeah, you guys. It's a get together. It's not really the game anymore. It's just the people, and then hopefully people can go 2 or 3. So hopefully we can find. Hopefully, I think I got faith in. I haven't had faith in a while, but I have faith in Van Bremen who can set this up. And
Yeah.
we hope San Diego works out. Masters in Maryland will. I still hate the name Masters, but what are you gonna do?
What would you have picked? The Premier Series?
I wouldn't have picked a name at all. I just ran 4 tournaments like golf does. What do you call golf 4 tournaments? They're just majors. You don't have names for the 4 majors. They have different names. You don't need an overriding name. You just have 4 tournaments.
I think it's a brand thing, right? They kind of want to make it that shimmering name in the in the headlights.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you don't need to have a front page that says you don't need. Things aren't special because you tell you they're special. They're special because they have a tradition. They have prestige because of That's just how it builds up over time.
Man, you're part of the fucking committee, but you're just shitting all over it so much.
I'm shit over organized play. That's been going on for about 5 years, TK.
It must be pretty awkward when you you and Matthias get in the same committee meeting, right?
Me and whom?
You and Matthias.
No, I welcome him to come back on the show next year. Hopefully, we can do it every year early in the season. But
man, you gotta have like the dingers for like the chess clocks for questions and answers. You ask you set the clock.
Matthias is it's not really a sin. His problem is he tries to, like we said, you hear him talk. He tries to overdo it, oversell, overexplain, overdo it. You just gotta keep kiss baby, keep it simple, stupid. And I think the problem with OP, there's a lot of T-shirt guys, not really like players and people who know how to. Like Neil, for all his faults, Masters of Maryland will work out fine. If you need something, Neil will be your host. Neil will take care of it. If I could call Neil, Neil, I'm at the airport. Neil, I can show up with a paper bag full of socks and nothing else, and Neil will have an omelet and some clothes waiting. Like he'll do that for anybody.
Let's hope after his head injury he could still
Yeah, you might not know who he is anymore, but then San Diego. I'm gonna go to San Diego. Okay, I'll go to San. This show's a goddamn mess this week. We run late too. Yeah, but that's the reason I didn't go to. Like, what am I doing? I'm gonna spend all the money on a hotel, so be having a hotel by myself, and I don't know who's gonna be there.
Oh, man, you could fucking stay at Nate's place.
I know I could have did a lot of work, but I don't want to have to go after people, and But then that's
fucking come on, you could have went with me.
Well, and then what happened? They fucked up the original schedule. You can't have a tournament, and it's like July 2nd. It's fucking hard to fly out New Year's,
What's July 2nd, dude? It's January 2nd, bro.
Yeah, but I'm gonna fly out. I'm not gonna fly out the day of. Dad, you gotta make San Diego. Yeah, you said San Diego. San Diego is a destination.
2 hours away on an airplane. What are you crying about?
Well, because
So the DFW is like 2 to 2.5 hours.
it's exactly 1 month after a trip I'm trying to take, so you can't put them a month apart. They already dropped. They already fucked up from step one. OP setting it up. Not only did they set it up, and
I think this fucking bitterness all goes back to the WCT leagues.
no, they're running fine. People are
It's all fucking the war between John Corbett and OP started with fucking league play.
no. James was cutting league play. No, no. That's not OP as a whole. That was James. Every couple of years, shorten it because other people were. But that's old news. People are still playing leagues. There's still the Champions League tournament every year at Gen Con always has it's always a good bracket. It's always interesting. So that's fine. League play, not wrong with league play. I'm trying to set one up here, but
the bridge anymore, John?
what's that?
Is that just water under the bridge anymore?
No, I don't hold grudges, but I'm not going to forget.
You're still pissed off. You're a little pissed. I could tell.
Pissed off about? What am I pissed off about? James is gone. What could I be pissed off about?
It was more of a James thing.
Yeah.
I just
yeah.
get so fired up when we talk about OP. You know what I mean?
Well, it's because there's been shitty decisions after shitty decisions. Like you said, you already explained it earlier. And you have the meeting, you fuck up, and then you have the meeting, and you play the volunteer card, and then your cycle starts over again.
No. You play the You say you don't want to play the volunteer card, and then you play the volunteer card. That's the sequence it goes in.
Yeah, just because I'm the person who's going to say, no, we're not going to fuck up again, and someone says, let's have Worlds in fucking Minnesota Ice Shack fishing,
It's just weird to me.
We're not going to, I'm going to step up and say, no, we've had bad ideas in the past. It's like design, we've done design, we keep putting out stuff. I'm saying we got to change course. Someone's going to, why do you think I'm in the committee, TK? Why do you think Charlie keeps me around? Not because I'm, particularly okay. I'm not a great designer. I wasn't a great OP league and stuff. I'm just the person who says, wait a second. I don't go with the group and I say, wait a second, this is probably going to be fucked up. And 9 times out of 10, Charlie goes, yeah, you were right, John. So you got to have someone in the room who's going to say, nah, we're not going to, that's a terrible idea. All right, that's it. That's the wrap. We're done for the show. We've gone an hour. TK, I'll see you next year, maybe. I'm going to keep for season 2. If season 2 comes back like Greasy Ducat, I'm kicking your punk ass out of the Discord pile.